Hello, welcome to another video lesson. Today's lesson is about vocabulary. It's a vocabulary oriented lesson, but I decided to separate things a little bit more. So you will be having vocabulary lessons, you'll be having grammar lessons, but also I am creating a new series of videos called Proficiency Practice. So in these videos I will bring some proficiency tests along with their content so I can practice the structures with you. Okay? The idea is to extract from proficiency examinations most important words, expressions, so you can get to know them. Okay? So let's get started. The first one, rave. Okay. Rave means the same as talk very loudly. So if you talk very loudly about something, you are raving about that. So John bought a new car and he's very happy about his decision. And now he wants everybody to know that he has bought a new car. So he starts raving about his car to everyone, talking very loudly. Oh, do you know, I bought a car. Ha ha ha. So you see, raving means when you talk very loudly with the purpose of making someone notice what you're talking about, or to look smarter, or to call the attention, to show off. Talk very loudly to show off. Okay? So it's quite common to see politicians raving about the situations of our country and doing absolutely nothing because they just want to call the attention. Okay? That's when you rave. And this is a verb, so you can see that this verb can get completely changed. It can become raving or raved or will rave. It really depends on what verb tense you're using. Next one, sweep someone off their feet. Repeat again because this is structure. Sweep someone off their feet. Sweep someone off their feet. You see that I underlined someone here and there because you can complement this with whatever you want. So you could say, sweep me off my feet, and you need to pay attention that whatever you use here must agree with the correct possessive adjective that you are using here. So, sweep me off my feet, sweep you off your feet, sweep John off his feet. And this is a very nice expression because it means make someone love you instantly. But I wouldn't say just love, but fall in love. So you make someone feel something very powerful towards you very easily. So I could say, Mary swept John off his feet when he first saw her. So Mary swept John off his feet when he first saw her. Can you repeat that? Mary swept John off his feet the first time he saw her. Okay? So he fell in love with her instantly at that moment. That's the meaning of sweep someone off their feet. Okay? Observe that this is the person who causes. So John fell in love, so Mary swept him off his feet. If it were the contrary, if Mary had fallen in love, we would say that John swept Mary off her feet. Okay? That's the idea. Now, pluck someone from a place. I wrote someone, but sometimes you can also talk about animals. Okay? And I consider my animals to be part of my family, so I really consider them as people. So I use direct pronouns to talk about them, like he and she, him and her. I do not refer to them as it. So you could say that when you pluck your cat from a tree, for example, you are rescuing it from a place that would be a little bit dangerous for him or for her. So pluck means take someone from a dangerous place. So I had to pluck my cat from an enormous mango tree once, and it gave me a lot of trouble, and I had to put a lot of effort into plucking her from the tree. Okay? When you pluck someone or something from a place, you are rescuing it or rescuing them from a dangerous place, from a dangerous situation. Okay? Next one, drag their feet. I like this expression a lot. When you drag your feet, that's a verb, okay? This is a verb, this is a verb, that's a verb, and that's a verb. So we are working with verbs at this first part. Drag your feet. If you're dragging your feet, you are not showing any willingness into doing anything. So you just don't want to do anything, and you are explicitly acting in a way so that people can understand that you really don't want to. So let's imagine you are my son, you're my kid. And, hey kid, can you help me clean the house today? And then you start helping me. But you start moving quite slowly, making noises, making faces, showing me explicitly that you really don't want to do that. So in this case, I could say, okay, stop dragging your feet, go do something else. So stop dragging your feet. That was my example. It means stop moving so slowly while doing something. Okay, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. So that's why we use drag your feet. And drag has a literal meaning of when you push something from a place into another. So you're dragging it. So if you are too tired or if you're just too unmotivated, you could just say that you were dragging your feet. Okay? So in this case, show that you're not interested in doing anything. Okay? Good. So rave, sweep someone off their feet, pluck someone from a place, drag their feet. So if someone is dragging their feet, they really don't want to do what they're doing, and they're showing it explicitly to you. Now, hoist. Hoist, again, it's a verb, and hoist is what we use generally for people. For things, I don't know if we use it quite often, I don't recall. But for people, when we get a person into our arms and we kind of uplift the person, take the person to a higher position, we are hoisting someone. So take someone to a higher position. I've got a very young cousin, and he loves me because I also love kids. I mean, when they are away from me, I really love them when they're not my responsibility. But he really loves when I hoist him, when I get him and I take him to a higher position, when I hoist him up, when I uplift him. That's the verb hoist. Okay? Now, without so much as, this is not a verb, but it's an expression. It's an expression which means without even. Without even. So, let's say you get to my house, you arrive in my house because my husband may have called you, I don't know. And you enter my house and you don't tell me, you don't say anything to me, you don't even say hello to me. Come on, you enter my house without so much as a hello. You enter my house without so much as a hello. You enter my house without even saying a hello. This is really, really, really impolite. Okay? Do you see? Whenever we use without even, generally you're not very satisfied. You were even surprised by something because you did that. You entered my house without so much as saying hello to me. That's crazy. Okay? Without so much as, without even doing. So I see some students trying to be approved in proficiency examinations without so much as studying, without so much as training hard. And how come they will pass? That's the idea. Okay, without so much, without even. Proceed to. Proceed to is a verb. And we generally use it whenever we are talking about someone who is performing an activity after performing another one. So I could say, she entered the house. After she entered the house, she proceeded to open my fridge. Can you believe that? She entered my house without so much as saying a hello, and she proceeded to open my fridge. And she continued to open my fridge in pursuit of food. Oh, come on, that's a very, very, very impolite person and a very bad neighbor, if that's your neighbor. But once, when I was a kid, I remember having one of these neighbors. Oh, it was a very, very, very bad situation for my mom and my dad especially. But okay, so you enter my house without so much as saying hello, and you proceeded to open my fridge. This is really impolite. Don't do that. Impolite. So, rave, sweep someone off their feet, pluck someone from a place, drag their feet, hoist someone, or without so much as proceed to. Now the next part of our vocabulary section is glare at someone. Glare. Guys, if you glare at someone, you look at someone. I'm going to abbreviate someone into SB, which is the same as somebody. When you look at somebody angrily, you're very angry at someone and you look at them angrily like this. You didn't do your homework, student. I'm glaring at you. So when you glare at someone or at somebody, you are showing through your eyes that you are angry with him or her. Okay? Wink at someone. Okay, this is quite simple. When you wink at someone, in this case I'm not having a seizure, I'm just winking. But when you wink at someone, you are doing this to show interest. So you're interested in that person and you want to call her attention or his attention. So you wink at someone. A common mistake here is the students use blink. Blink. Guys, blink is a natural movement of my eyes. We naturally blink. This is not aimed at calling people's attention. There's a natural feature of my body. I blink. I'm a human person. I'm a human being. Okay? I blink. But when you blink intentionally to call the attention of someone else, you are not blinking. You are winking. Wink at someone. Blink is a natural thing. Peep at someone or peep at something. This is quite British, so you've not come across this expression in the United States or in American English, but SCPs from Cambridge, it will evaluate your British accent, not your British accent. They do evaluate some kind of accent, but that's not the most important thing. They will evaluate whether or not you can work with or deal with British expressions, such as this one. Peep at someone. When you peep at someone or when you peep at something, you look quite quickly. Oh, come on, who has never gone through this situation? I don't know, there's a person that you really admire, it's your crush, or you were interested in him or in her, you look at him or in her, look at her, and then when he or she looks back at you, you quickly move your eyes away. So what you're doing is you're peeping at her or peeping at him. You're looking at him or at her quickly. It's quite interesting because at this moment, sometimes I forget what I was saying and I peep at this piece of paper containing the definitions and some examples. Okay, I peep at that, I look at that very quickly and I come back to you to teach you. Because of course, there is no way I can remember all of these words at the top of my head. You know? So I organize them here for you, but they are so advanced, students, that even native speakers have difficulties with them. Okay? So be careful. Be careful. We're at a very advanced level right now. So, peep at someone, British, English, to when you look at someone quite quickly. Okay? Eye someone. Eye someone. Eye someone is a nice expression. You are analyzing the person's behavior when you eye this person. So you can say, oh, she eyed you during the whole night. Maybe she's interested in you. She eyed you. She kept her eye on you. It's not that she peeped you. She eyed you. She continued, or she kept looking at you for some time. Okay? To eye someone is to show interest. Show interest in someone or somebody by looking at him or her. Alright? That's eye. Next one. Deem someone something. When you deem, you judge, you consider. I can deem, I don't know, let's see, I don't have a book here. Let's imagine this is a book. I've read this book and wow, this is bullshit, this is rubbish, it's called swallow. I don't like it. So what I'm doing in this case is that I deem this book bad. I deem this book not good. When you deem something, that's why we have got two pronouns here, indefinite pronouns. You can deem a person something. So I can deem you a bitch, for example. So that's what my opinion is about you. I can deem you dishonest. That's my opinion about you. I'm judging you and I'm telling you, oh, I deem you dishonest. That's my opinion about you. Okay? But we can also deem things like book. When you deem a book good or when you deem a book bad, you're saying that this book is not good, this book is not bad. Okay? So deem is the same as judge. Judge something. STH is the abbreviation for something as being something, right? So deem, Ponder on. Okay, that's quite close to Portuguese. When you ponder, you spend time thinking about. So why don't you ponder on this topic? Don't forget the preposition, ponder, ponder on. Why don't you ponder on this topic during the weekend? Okay? For example. Discriminate between two things is when you can tell the difference between two things. If you can tell the difference and if you can say, okay, one thing is X, the other thing is Y, they are completely different, you can discriminate between them. Okay? When you weigh up something, look, that something doesn't break the phrasal verb. It goes right at the end of it. Weigh up a situation. Again, when you weigh up a situation, you are analyzing the consequences of it, the good sides, the bad sides, the upsides, the downsides. You are analyzing it on the whole. So weigh up is the same as ponder on something, right? So weigh up your decisions. Ponder on your decisions. Check what is good and what's not. But if you're talking about a person, if you're analyzing a person, observing someone's behavior, you will have to choose somebody right in the middle of weigh somebody up. So a reason for somebody to be eyeing you is that maybe the person is interested in you and you know that if the person winks at you. But otherwise, I think the person may be just weighing you up. Like forming opinions about you by observing your behavior, okay? And maybe if the person doesn't like your behavior, this person can deem you inappropriate as a friend, okay? So what we're doing here, we are trying to use this vocabulary that is quite advanced in a more natural approach. Serve someone's purpose, okay? So John had a presentation at school. And he had to deliver work or to give a presentation. And at the day that this happened, his mom crashed her car and he couldn't go to school. Oh, that served John's purpose a lot. That helped John a lot. It coincidentally happened and it saved him from an awkward situation. So we could say that in that case, the car crash served John's purpose of not going to school. He had this purpose. But there's another way of using this. Serve you. I want to just erase this so I can have room to write the next sentence. Serve you right. I'm using you here, but you know that you can change you into whatever you want. It should be a somebody here to be more precise. So somebody. When you serve somebody right, or when something serves, generally it's a thing, something serves somebody right, we're saying something that in Portuguese we use bem feito. For example, oh, my car broke down. I could say, okay, it serves you right. It serves you right. Bem feito. It serves you right. Okay? That's the way we do it. And the last one is meet. Obviously, you know meet as the verb encounter someone, meet someone, get to know someone. But in this case, we are not saying, or we're not using meet in this specific meaning. We are talking about meet as a way of being enough or being in time. For example, when you think of a deadline. If you meet a deadline, you are good enough and you are fast enough, you finish it before it's over, okay, before the period's over, before the deadline, you meet it. If you meet a criterion, it's because you have the criterion that someone is looking for, so you meet that criterion. Observe the criterion finishes in U, M, and when it goes to the plural, it goes into A, criteria. But in the grammar videos, the grammar video lessons, you will learn more about nouns. Meet a requirement. I think you've got this, right? Let's just repeat all of them so you can practice your pronunciation. Meet a criterion, meet a deadline, meet a requirement. Serve someone's purpose, something serves someone right. Weigh up, weigh somebody up, weigh up something. Discriminate between two things. Ponder on something. Deem someone something. Eye someone. Peep at someone or peep at something. Wink at someone. Glare at someone. Proceed to. Without so much as. Hoist. Hoist someone. Drags their feet or drag someone's feet. Pluck someone from a place. Sweep someone off their feet. Sweep someone off their feet and rave. Okay? Guys, I've separated here some sentences and I want to work as a dictation. I want to work with them as a dictation. So I am going to read the sentences and I want you to write them down. I'm not going to answer them here on board. I'm not going to give you the answer in a written fashion. But if you want to, send me a message. Send me a message on my Instagram or on my WhatsApp or in any of the social media, and I can send you the PDF with the correct sentences so you can compare. So, number 1. All critics were raving about the actor's performance at the end of the play. All critics were raving about the actor's performance at the end of the play. As this is going to be recorded, you can stop the video, you can go back, you can watch it again. I'm just going to repeat it twice, okay? Number 2. When I got there, she was raving at the kids about their school performance. When I got there, she was raving at the kids about their school performance. Number 3. Mary says that he swept her off her feet and they got married 6 months later. Mary says that he swept her off her feet and they got married 6 months later. 4. My friend suddenly plucked a white hair from my head. My friend suddenly plucked a white hair from my head. Well, guys, I guess I just taught you the definition of pluck someone from a dangerous place. But whenever you pluck something from a place, you take it very quickly. You move it. For example, when you pluck a hair, you take it very, very quickly so it doesn't hurt. So number 4 again, my friend suddenly plucked a white hair from my head. Number 5, when I saw the car coming, I ran and plucked the kid from the middle of the street. When I saw the car coming, I ran and plucked the kid from the middle of the street. Number 6. Quit dragging your feet and come help me. Quit dragging your feet and come help me. 7. Mark claims to have been hoisted into the air by the hurricane. Hey Mark, I don't think I believe you. Number 7 again. Mark claims to have been hoisted into the air by the hurricane. Number 8. I was talking to John when his wife burst into our conversation without so much as a hello to me. 8. I was talking to John when his wife burst into our conversation without so much as a hello to me. Number 9. As long as you keep your promise, I'll go with you. As long as you keep your promise, I'll go with you. Number 10. After arriving, she proceeded to go to the kitchen and check if everything was clean enough. Number 10 again. After arriving, she proceeded to go to the kitchen and check if everything was clean enough. Number 11. Why are you winking at me? I'm married. Why are you winking at me? I am married. Number 12. The teacher caught me red-handed while I was peeping at my cell phone for answers to the test. The teacher caught me red-handed while I was peeping at my cell phone for answers to the test. 13. I reckon Julie is into you. Sorry, my handwriting sucks. Again. 13. I reckon Julie is into you. She kept eyeing you the whole class. I reckon Julie is into you. She kept eyeing you the whole class. 14. Don't deem me ignorant or ignorant. My bad. Don't deem me ignorant just because I didn't know the answer. One more time. Don't deem me ignorant just because I didn't know the answer. Wow, lots of sentences. 15. They were left to ponder on the implications of their decisions. They were left to ponder on the implications of their decisions. 16. The computer program was unable to discriminate between letters and numbers. The computer program was unable to discriminate between letters and numbers. 17. It was obvious that It was obvious that the only reason for her to keep eyeing me during the class is that she was weighing me up. It was obvious that the only reason for her to keep eyeing me during the class is that she was weighing me up. Wow, an advanced sentence, this one. 18. The occasion of his birthday served well his purpose of making a speech. Oh, John really wanted to give that speech, so he enjoyed the occasion of his birthday, right? I'm going to read it again for you. The occasion of his birthday served well his purpose of making a speech. 19. I regret to inform you that your performance doesn't meet the criteria for your approval. I regret to inform you that your performance doesn't meet the criteria for your approval. Okay. 20. The earth revolves around the sun. The earth revolves around the sun. 21. The answer hasn't been determined yet. The answer hasn't been determined yet. And number 22, the answer varies according to the position of the moon. The answer varies according to the position of the moon. That was it for today, my dear student. I hope this video has helped you. Anyhow, I know these are very advanced and difficult to memorize terms, but if you create a routine, if you keep up with a routine of studying, writing down your words, creating your sentences, voice recording yourselves while you are studying, watching things in English, traveling whenever possible, trying to maintain a pattern of thoughts in English too, that will help you a lot in terms of memorizing it. But I hope I can help you more than that with this advanced vocabulary lessons aimed at proficiency examinations. I know many of my students are really into the idea of getting a lifelong certification like CPE or ECP from Michigan. Anyway, guys, I'm going to send you a PDF too with the exercise from which I took these words from. Okay, I really like being honest with you in terms of how much percent I score in this, and I scored 85% in this exercise. I didn't score 100%, and I do not want you to think that I know everything, because I don't. You know, I have a hard time memorizing words too. I also get stuck sometimes, and my English doesn't flow. But this is language. You know, language is like this. Language follows our thoughts, and sometimes we're just not okay, and sometimes we are brilliant. So respect that, do not get frustrated, and we are going to move towards into memorizing more and more words and expressions. Thanks for watching me. See you next class. Bye-bye.